a lean startup principle or something that you would advise a startup that they could do to remain lean, or something in your experience as an entrepreneur?
Lean
mean like low overhead, low expenses, just really.
Oh, lean that way.
Yeah.
Well, we did it. We call it a bootstrap
Mm-hmm.
approach.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
It's really start with the bare minimum and then earn money to buy the next thing. And so figure out what you want, take away the things that you don't have to have, and then start with the bare bones, and then have a budget in mind, or a purchasing scenario so that you can buy. Obviously you may not buy the cheapest thing first, but you're not going to buy the most expensive thing first, because the idea is that each thing adds to either your productivity or reduces your cost. Ups your production or lowers your costs. So I'd say that. Try to do as much as you can by yourself. Read. So as a past consultant, I wouldn't say you don't want to have consultants, but some consultants are useful, some are
not. Exactly.
And also there's a lot of resources out there, so apply for grants and things that you can. I didn't do that. I did apply for, and you were asking, what's that one thing that gets you? I would say it was the Newtown, what was it called?
Downtown Challenge.
Yeah, the Downtown Challenge. I think that's how it's called. No, it's the one that dog food people got, or the dog.
That was through organization that no longer exists originally.
Okay. What was that called?
It's hotter here, so
Yeah. Anyway, it was basically a competition to submit your business plan and all that. Now I was already done with my business plan. I just had to put it on the calendar. So it's like I had all the numbers. Gateway Macon, yeah. And it was.
They have a website, and that's their promotion now, but
I can't remember the name of it. I can't believe that. I still got a business plan for the binder.
I've got one. How big is your operation as far as like how many employees that you have?
It's me and I have one employee.
Right.
And then we have volunteers that help us out.
And I guess that's where my curiosity comes in is, when you're starting up, you were talking about trying to wear too many hats. As far as, trying to find and vet skilled and qualified people to help you along, as far as with like, I can imagine, people to help you throughout the process, but like even a lawyer or whatever to help you navigate like the ATF regulations and.
Well, I did hire a consultant for that, so I hired a lawyer to guide us through the licensing procedure and all the process, and we actually were commenting. This is TTB, which is the federal IRS agency, or division to IRS, and their comment was, "This is the best application I've ever seen."
That's good.
And I saw a stat today that said, I don't know if that still holds, but there's a brewery opening up every 40 minutes in the United States now.
Wow.
So, there's a lot of applications they see, so we did a good job with that. So we vetted everything out. We found exactly what they needed. And I insisted that we put it in, we had to do a paper copy, and it was literally that thick. And I made sure that everything's tabbed and a little brief description, so that when they're flipping through it, they don't have to look for anything. Because as an engineer, that was one thing that I insisted on the contractors do. Was we had to review things, and sometimes they would just give me a stack of papers to sort through, and I would just put it in a box and send it back to them and tell them to organize it until they got it to where I can read it and didn't have to do their work. And so I made sure that when we submitted our package, that it had that same standard to it. I know how it is to review things, and if you got to really flip and look, then you're really looking and flipping, and easy and you're just looking for your checklist, then you turn the page and there's your checklist. You turn the page, there's your checklist. And if you do the work for them, then you guide them, and then there's a lot less questions. But the only question they had is standard and is strange. Standard in the brewing industry is you call the hot water reserve and the cold water reserve liquor tanks. So we call it hot liquor and cold liquor. And they called and asked me why I was storing liquor, and then I had to explain that
Right.
that's just a term, which I thought was really strange, as many applications as they review that no one else had picked that up, or maybe I was the only one that actually had plans that were labeled. I don't know. So,
Have you had any dealings with? I'm not too familiar with starting up your own business, but I want to say that there's like small business organizations that are nonprofit or even like federal or government.
yeah, I went to, and that's a good, I'm glad you asked that, because first thing I did was, because I was an engineer, and through that, did the consulting business, I did get some business acumen, but I didn't know that much about business. And so I took the SBDC, which is Small Business Development Center, and it's, they have a,
Is that government affiliated or
it's
nonprofit?
part government, part UGA, I think. Is that right? And I had one of the best speakers I've ever heard in my life. Robert was one of the speakers for that class, but but it was a good course but it was long. It was a lot of commitment because it was a Friday. Every other Friday was a full day, and the ones in between were half days, but they were mornings. So I was fortunate that my firm that I was working with, we had half day Fridays, so I only had to take off every other Friday. I had to take off every Friday, but it was only half a day, so I had enough vacation time to take off every Friday for. I bet that course was
8 weeks.
Yeah, 8, 9 weeks, something like that. So, that's tough. It's tough to do that while you're working, but I was fortunate to not really have that kind of supervision that I just took it off. I didn't ask for it.
And I should mention the startup guide that we have right there on the end of that table with the black tablecloth over it. That has all of the local business support organizations that was created before Mercer's Innovation Center. So it has things like the Small Business Development Center that takes you from idea to storefront. So I would highly suggest that all of you pick it up. And if you see any other organizations that we need to add, please let me know.
I would say it was a good course for sure. And then there's something else that I recently started doing, and I think it's your next speaker is with SCORE. And I don't know that they do startup stuff, but they're business coaches. And so I think now that I've been in business, trying to get some coaching to say, hey, this is what I'm doing. Does this seem right? Another way to do that is to get people that are savvy and willing, and create a board. You don't have to necessarily pay them anything if they're generous, and you can just say, hey, this is what I'm doing. Here's my numbers. Which way should I go? This is what I'm thinking, and then let people kind of see.
But I guess organizations like that, I assume they would help with I need to set up a HR and how to find and hire personnel, or
yeah, I don't know that they take you that detailed, but definitely takes you through all phases of what startup is. Mainly through startup. That's the one I took, and then they have another one that's called. It's more for businesses about my age, and it's how to grow from this. And that's probably more about now that you're in business, you're going to hire somebody. Now, how do you handle those people?
Right.
I've got an HR folder, and I've got stuff in it, but it's, I don't really have a business or operating procedures or anything as far as hiring and firing and
Gotcha.
What our holidays are and stuff like that. But all that, you want to be upfront and have that stuff established. Just like anything, we don't have rules. It can be loose rules, but they don't have to be. But you still want. You want everybody to be on the same page and understanding. And the best way to do that still today is to write it down.
Right.